This is Teresa from Rockledge Gardens. Today we're going to be talking about proper pruning practices. With me today is Greg Barham.
Hi, this is Greg from Rockledge Gardens, and we're going to go over a few basic pruning techniques. We're going to go over a few things, a few tools that I use around the garden center and at my own home for pruning. First and foremost, and by far the most used, are my hand pruning shears. These are bypass pruners. When they cut, the blade bypasses the anvil. It puts a nice clean cut. It doesn't crush the wood. You want to avoid crushing the wood. If what you need to prune is bigger than your hand pruners, use a pruning saw. The pruning saw will make a much cleaner cut with less incidence of disease than if you were to use tools such as these. These are lopping shears. I'm sure everybody has a pair of these laying around the garage. What I use these for is when I cut bigger plants down, to cut them smaller into size, to haul them to the curb or take them to wherever you would take your vegetation after you prune it. This is a set of head shears. I'm sure everybody has a set of handheld head shears as well. This is for if you have dwarfing Zora hedges, or you want to make little balls out of ilex shillings or things like that. These would be the tools that you would use. Just as important as having a decent set of tools is keeping them clean. Clean as having the dirt and such removed from them, but more importantly, clean as free of disease. Personally, I use a 25% bleach solution to clean my pruning tools. You don't want to spread disease. That's one of the most common ways that disease is spread from plant to plant is through infected pruning tools. After the winter that we've had, a lot of people are going to have a lot of cold damaged plant material. Probably a good portion of it will come back, but what's dead is dead and it will not regenerate or regrow, so you're going to want to remove things. This particular agave, you're going to want to cut all the dead leaves off, take them back as close to the plant as you can. Remove everything there. Succulents it's especially important to remove the damaged leaves as they'll continue to decay downward into the plant. Same with plumerias. And you just go ahead and cut those back. And once it warms up again, in no time, hopefully your plants will green right up and come back and be fine. Dwarfing Zoras are one of the first plants to show damage. They're particularly cold sensitive. This one looks like it's dead, but it's not dead, and this one will serve two purposes for me. Luckily, only about a third of this plant has been killed. So what you would do was remove about a third of the plant. That way you're removing all the dead, which will not come back. Let the sun get inside of there. Once it warms up, this Ixora should come right back and be just fine. It's about all it'll take. This is what you want to see. You want to see some good, healthy green under there. You have good, healthy green that doesn't smell rotten or has a brown streak in it. This plant should come back and be just fine in no time. Crotons are slower to come back than a lot of other plants. This croton, fortunately, as you can see, has some live foliage left on it. Here's some dead right here. It's shriveled up a little bit, not too far down. This can be removed. I would leave these. They'll begin to flush back out from the top again. Once you start to see little green growth on there, that's a good thing, especially with tropical plants. Need heat. That's the key to them. You can fertilize and fertilize and fertilize, but if these plants don't have heat, then they're not going to do their best growing. When the nights get into the 70s and stay there, tropical plants are loving it, and hopefully all your crotons are going to come back. This is a little golden dewdrop here in various stages of cold burn. It is flushing back. it will come back and be nice. Once it starts getting warm again, you want to prune these to shape. These are easy. You can non-selectively prune these. All you need is a set of these, a little bit of imagination. You're just going to want to go around, prune it up, tighten it up some. Just try to make a little round ball out of it, or prune it back into a hedge or whatever you had it in to begin with. That's non-selective pruning right there. I'm sure everybody's seen this done or done it a few times themselves. And that's about all there is to it. This is a Cape honeysuckle. Doesn't have any cold damage on it, but what it does have is some dead wood here and there. Now what you want to do is take it back to where there's live growth right here, and just go ahead and remove the dead out of this plant. It's real simple. Keep it nice and healthy. There's a little bit of growth up there. It's a little bit wilted. It doesn't fit in with the rest of the plant, so I would go ahead and just remove that. Won't hurt anything. As a matter of fact, you prune your plants now and again and keep them thicker, and it increases the plant's vigor. And they'll stay nice and lush and green. And there you have it. Here we have a crepe myrtle. A lot of people have questions about their crepe myrtle. This crepe myrtle is actually beginning to flush back out again. It's been recommended now that you prune your crepe myrtles back to a point no thicker than the size of a pencil. That's about the size of a pencil. What I would do with this is take this opportunity to clip a little bit of dead wood out, maybe open up the inside some, remove a few of these inner branches. This one is crossing and rubbing, although they will have this habit. I would go ahead and just remove that. Take a few from the inside, maybe this one. Maybe take a few branches off to kind of give it a little bit of shape. Let a little sun in there as it's beginning to flush back out again. I would remove this bottom one like that. There's not a whole lot of work involved in taking care of these. They're pretty easy plant to grow. They're plenty cold hardy, and with a little bit of work, a little bit more time, this thing will flush back out and you'll have a beautiful crepe myrtle. Another thing with crepe myrtles is when your crepe myrtle has finished its first bloom, it'll produce seed pods. They're just little round pea-like objects formed in a cluster. Go ahead and prune those off and get a second bloom out of your crepe myrtle. Once again, we want to remind you that if you ever have any questions about pruning, or if you have any problems with your plant or fruit, or if you have a special plant that you're looking for, please call us here at Rockledge Gardens and we'll do our best to take care of you. Thank you.